Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again. Earlier, I did a tape celebrating Dr. King. I did it in the morning time. The spirit was on me. I was full of fire. I couldn't wait, so I came up, I presented it, and I've given it to you. Later on in the day, things are more subtle. Then I did what I call the main message, and I presented it, and I've given it to you. Now this is like the aftermath, when it all settled down, and I'm coming back to you. And here's what I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about peace. We're seeing all kinds of things that's happening in our world today. We have a time now when our major politicians can stand before us and lie to us, to our face, have it recorded, audio and video, and then deny it. And not only that, find supporters in power-making positions. When these kinds of things can happen publicly, and we can not only be seen here at home but abroad, that says that our nation has sunk to a deep, deep low. And when this happens, I think it's imperative that people who know the truth stand and tell you the truth, the absolute truth. And the first truth that I want to share with you, ladies and gentlemen, and don't run and get upset, angry, because there is a good outcome. So stay around to the end. Everything that's happening in America, all of the violence, the crime, the poverty, the racism, the bigotry, every American is responsible for this. No one is any more guilty or any less guilty than another. It takes all of you, the Americans, to allow these things to happen. And they only happen because you allow them to happen. Now, there are people who are fighting back in all kinds of ways against this, but they end up usually in jails and in prisons because they are ignored by the whole entire population. Those who are willing to cause this pain and suffering, whatever avenue it travels, and those who will sit idly by and do nothing. That is the power of all the evil in the world. That is the power that is being manifest here in the United States of America today. And the reason that they're able to do that before you, the powers that be, do it before you, is because they are saying to you, they know exactly who you are. And the fact that they can videotape everything you say on your phones and everything that you do, it's just to let you know, baby, they got it. They got it. And you don't know what to do. So you are caught unless somebody shows you a way out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can't deny anything that I have said. But I want to tell you, here's the other side of that coin. Everything that happens, like land ownership, your history tells you how that happened, how people took land, fought and took land, or lied and cheated and got land. And always, for some strange reason, they always made you think you got a little bit of the pie, a little bit of the cut, so you kept close. They invest in something and get that you buy shares of stocks in it and you get some kickbacks. That's what I call them, kickbacks. And you go along with it. Why? Because you're getting a piece of it. And those of you who don't get a piece of it, you just wonder what's going on. You don't know what to do and you be quiet. And see what happens, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Listen good. I was just like everything I just told you about. Just like it. So I know what I just told you was the truth. And at the same time, every last one of us, all we wanted was our dream to come true. We didn't really want this. We just And what were we to do? That's our song. We don't know any better. And every time somebody seems to try to tell us something better, they lose their lives, and we don't want to die. Why? We don't even know what's dying all about. And so we find ourselves prisoners in our own bodies on this planet, not knowing what to do. But there's a power somewhere, ladies and gentlemen, that says, stop for a second and recognize the truth. It is this big earth that exists that belongs to a power that has nothing to do with man as far as creating. And all that this earth can do, and that's anything that man wants of it, whether it's above the earth, on the earth, or in the earth, whether it's seen or unseen, it's able by that power that created it. And we can't put our hands on that power. We can't even see it. But the evidence of that power is all about us. That power is responsible for our being here. And yet our being here requires what? Survival. Survival to continue. We're not just here, but we're to survive. And each of us have those same requirements for survival, making it common amongst us. So what are some of those? Food, clothing, shelter, education, health care. And how do we provide from this earth those things that are so essential to us? Each of us got a gift. Each of us got a talent. There's something that each of us love to do. And by George, that is our direct gift to contribute to this process. And everybody got a job. Everybody got a career. And in those careers, we create the fulfillment of all those in such an abundance that no one should go without. Now, the Lord God Almighty says to me, now I say the Lord God Almighty because I cannot be a greater lover than any of you. I cannot be the greatest love on the face of the earth, because through this message that I give you today, not a single one of you will ever suffer again for any of these things that God has prepared for you. And you will have it guaranteed because you play a major role in the process. It's not dependent on those others to lie and cheat and steal and con others, but that you commit yourself to be a part of your life, because your life is the most important thing that we require of you. And we give you all of our lives back in fulfillment. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can't top that. Now, I asked the people of Minnesota to write me in as the next replacement for Al Franken and go to Washington, spend my time talking to those legislators like I've just got through talking to you. Let the world know that the poverty around the world, people trying to migrate, going other places, trying to get away from the hellhole that they're living in. I want the whole world to know that every nation on the face of the earth is responsible for all of that hurt. You are not excused. There are things that are being done to people around the world. Yeah, by others. And it's you who sit by and do nothing about it. And you do nothing about it because you don't know what to do. And I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that the message that I tell here in Minnesota today is the message that I give to the United States of America, and it is the message that I give to the world. And those of you who believe in Jesus Christ, I know they try to put it down and say Jesus never existed. It doesn't matter if Jesus existed or not. But what about the message? The message is divine. And that message was this: but unless you can clean this mess up straight, they will see you on a cross, or getting a bullet through your neck, or have your head blown off before you be a part of man's game. The God that made you is able to take care of you. And if that power say, come on, then it's time to go. Now, I'm not trying to rush anybody. You can't go before your time. All I'm telling you is this: stop blaming people. We, the people, are responsible for all the hell that's all about us. And no God is going to fix it unless that God can live in you. And I'm talking about a loving God. And that loving God says all of us, not some of us. Bye-bye. I might have went too long.